Good day, subscribers. Thank you so much for joining me today. I am Jeremy. This is the Financial Education Channel, and today we're talking a little Apple, Google, and Amazon, and I'm giving you two companies each of them should acquire, guys. Now, the reason I'm doing this video is so you guys can maybe see my thought process on how I determine whether a company should acquire another company and why it may make sense, guys. So leave me today in that comment section any of other stocks you guys think that any of these names should acquire, or if you agree with me on any of these names that a certain company should acquire a certain company, guys. I would love to hear from you in that comment section and get some debate going, guys. Let's just go ahead and get right into this. Hit a thumbs up if you enjoy it. Number one, we're talking about Apple first. We're talking about the two companies Apple should acquire. Number one company that you guys may have never heard of before that Apple should acquire is Cirrus Logic. Cirrus Logic is responsible for making many of the audio semiconductor components that go in your iPhones, in your iPads, in Macs, a lot of different things, guys. Cirrus Logic, about 85 to 90% of their revenue comes directly from Apple, guys, directly from Apple. So Cirrus is a business that's already heavily reliant upon Apple. There are already two companies that work super close to each other. By Apple acquiring Cirrus Logic, it would be a smart move in my opinion, because basically Apple spends about $1 billion a year with Cirrus Logic. They could cut down that number and save themselves probably about a $200 to $300 million number, guys. They could save themselves a considerable amount of money. They could also implement Cirrus chips into every product they have, whereas they wouldn't have to use other companies that they're using currently, because they do use some different amp manufacturers. Cirrus also makes amps. Maybe they just can't provide the price point that Apple's looking for, so Apple goes with another company basically for their amplifiers and things like that. Apple could then not even have to do that. They could have every amp, audio codec, anything, microphone, all be Cirrus Logic and all be in-house. And the design activity could be even easier at that point, guys. And then we know how important the voice is. Cirrus Logic has some things they're working on as far as basically your voice being able to unlock your iPhone. You know, right now you use a thumbprint, your voice being able to do it. We know that the connected home is becoming a bigger thing, correct? Over the next, let's say, 5 to 10 years. Things like being able to just talk to your air conditioner, say your thermostat, turn down the heat, or turn up the heat, turn on the AC, whatever. Talking to so many different things in your home is going to be the next wave, right? Cirrus Logic is focusing on that. Apple could acquire that, and then the premium, they would never even have to pay up for that, guys, and they could pump even more money into Cirrus Logic. So I think Apple acquiring Cirrus Logic would be a very smart move for them. The second company I would suggest Apple to purchase would be Netflix, guys. Netflix would be a very interesting one that Apple could acquire. Now, Apple could take this a couple different routes if they did acquire Netflix. The way I would take it if I were Apple, I would buy up Netflix and then I would make them exclusive on Apple products. Now, obviously, that would kill a lot of Netflix revenue, correct? I mean, absolutely, it would kill it overnight. They would lose a significant amount of customers. But what you would make is you would make the iPhone, the iPad, anything Apple related that much more powerful. The Apple TV, because now you have a service in Netflix that you can only get on Apple products, guys. You can only get it on Apple products. And a lot of people that love Netflix would probably switch maybe from another phone manufacturer over to Apple, or someone that's maybe using a Google Chrome over to Apple at that point, guys, because Netflix would then be simply just on Apple platforms. What they could also do is Apple, we know they've got mass amounts of money, guys. They could buy up every piece of content ever created in the history of mankind if they really wanted to. They could pump significant amounts of money into buying up some of the best movies ever, guys, some of the best TV shows ever. Great shows. They could buy it up and make it exclusive on Netflix, which would make Netflix even a better proposition, right, for consumers. And then if you want Netflix, you got to go through an Apple product at that point. So this would be a huge competitive move, an extremely aggressive move that I think would be extremely smart of Apple to do. It would be costly, absolutely. They would have to pay a significant premium for Netflix. They might have to pay an $80 billion number to buy Netflix, maybe a $70 billion number. It'd be very high. The amount of money they'd have to spend just to buy Netflix out be very significant. But what it would bring in return, I think the numbers would be in Apple's favor, guys. I really do. Now, let's talk about Google. What should Google acquire? Number one company they should acquire? Twitter. The biggest thing Twitter is missing over everything, and the reason Twitter stock has suffered and Twitter in general has suffered is because they lack a really good algorithm. They lack a really good algorithm. Who's the king of building algorithms? Google. Google, whether it be Google, the actual service, whether it be YouTube, which Google owns, as far as giving you a suggested video that you'll actually watch or a recommended video, things like that, guys. Google is king of building algorithms. I would say they're the best in the world. There's no one ahead of Google as far as building algorithms. Twitter needs a great algorithm that will show you the most relevant posts that you need to see. So when someone logs on to Twitter, even if they follow 20, 30, 40 people, right? The ones that are most relevant to them are actually the ones that will continue to show up in those kinds of things, guys. So that would be a huge move, and that's the biggest thing Twitter needs right now. Also, Google could obviously, implement an advertising strategy that would be a lot easier and a lot simpler for advertisers to come online and advertise on the Twitter platform, which would then expand revenues, expand profits, those kinds of things. But the main thing is getting the algorithm fixed so Twitter as a product is up here versus right now it's like down here, guys. Take it up to the next little notch. So that's the number one company, and they could get Twitter for so cheap right now. I mean, Twitter's trading at $16 per share. I wouldn't be surprised if they sold the company at $22, $23 a share. It's a drop in the bucket for Google, guys, a drop in the bucket. The number two company Google should acquire is Pandora. Pandora is an internet radio service, if you guys do not know that already. Pandora, what they could do with Pandora is make it a worldwide expansion. So Pandora, instead of just being really US based, which it is currently, they're in a few other small countries, but really it's US based. They can make it a worldwide service and begin to really take market share worldwide. Pandora is up to like a 10% market share number, guys, in the United States for all of radio listening. They've just taken it and taken it and taken it. The radio listening is going to Pandora. Google could also build out its ad platform to be a lot easier for advertisers to then advertise on Pandora. Much simpler if you're a small business owner, and I'm talking micro level, that you could actually be advertising on Pandora, and it'd be a very simple process, guys. The same way it is on YouTube. If you want to put up a YouTube ad, literally, it takes like 15, 20 minutes and you could set it all up, guys. I've done it for customers before. It's so freaking simple. They could make that type of platform for Pandora, which would increase Pandora's revenues and profits a great deal, guys. They could make them basically a profitable company just by doing that. Then they could expand worldwide after that, guys, and really make Pandora into the dominant radio station for everybody in the world, basically. So that's the second company Google should acquire. Now, the next one we're talking about is Amazon. Who should Amazon acquire and why should they do it? Number one, Amazon should acquire eBay. eBay, absolutely no question about it. Amazon should acquire eBay. Now, this one would possibly run into some regulatory issues. I'm not sure if it would, but it's a possibility on this one it could. I think they should acquire eBay in the snap of a finger because, one, you would not have to pay a ridiculous amount for eBay. eBay is a stock that has not flown up the last few years, so you could pay a pretty cheap price for eBay. Obviously, Amazon would have to take out debt probably to buy them, but that's fine and dandy. They could buy eBay. eBay is a profitable service, so it would make immediate profits come to Amazon, and I feel like eBay is the biggest competitive threat of anything for Amazon, basically. How do I decide this? Well, basically, a lot of the products that I'm buying now, I'm buying more and more from eBay because eBay is kicking everybody's ass in terms of pricing. I just bought a Canon 80D. It's a really good camera, guys. I bought it from eBay. Why? Because eBay had it far cheaper. I only needed the body for it because I already had lenses for a similar product. So I only needed the body. The body I got for $889 on eBay. Brand new. Never been used before or anything. Brand new. If I was to buy that on Amazon, it would have been closer to $990. We're talking about a $100 difference. If I bought it from an actual physical retailer, it would have been about $200 more than eBay, guys. eBay's kicking ass as far as pricing, and that's not the first thing I bought from eBay. I bought several products. The company I'm mainly invested in, right? GoPro, the cheapest place you'll get a Hero 5 for brand new, eBay. eBay sells them for $184. On Amazon, eBay sells them for $384. Amazon sells them for $394. Regular retailers sell them for $399, guys. They're the biggest competitive threat to Amazon out there, in my opinion. They're the biggest. They're a bigger competitive threat, in my opinion, than actually Walmart. And eBay is way smaller than Walmart. So Amazon would basically eliminate that overnight, guys. They would eliminate their biggest competitive threat and take them all in-house and bring in a profitable company in the end. The second company Amazon should acquire is Best Buy. Best Buy, you would think maybe for competitive reasons. No, not really. Best Buy is a profitable business that they could get for very cheap. They could get Best Buy for very cheap, guys, and bring in a profitable business. But mainly because Best Buy has massive amounts of retail space. Amazon wants to start to build out Amazon. They could make a big portion of the Best Buy stores into basically an Amazon section, guys, where whatever Amazon needs to try to sell or show off or whatever could be in that section of the store. A third of the store could be dedicated to Amazon products. They could still keep the Best Buy name, everything like that, the Best Buy distribution system, and have the physical space they need overnight. Best Buy is in some of the best locations out there as far as being in centers where lots of people go. Best Buy is in those locations. Amazon will get that overnight, guys. So I think buying Best Buy would be a great purchase for Amazon. So you heard it here first. Apple, they should acquire Cirrus Logic. They should acquire Netflix. Google, they should acquire Twitter. They should acquire Pandora. And Amazon, they should acquire eBay. And they should acquire Best Buy, guys. Those are the ones that I think they should acquire. Let me know in that comment section if you think they should acquire these companies. If you think they should acquire any other type of companies. I would love to hear from you guys. If you just came across this channel, you may want to subscribe. We talk personal finance on the channel. We talk entrepreneurship on the channel. I'm a business owner. I give away so many business tips. We talk the stock market, the most of everything on the channel. Thank you for watching, guys, and have a great day.